My New Orleans, gay, romantic, and beautiful, is nonetheless a violent city with more than a share of sudden death. But when those deaths begin to occur on the same street with the same regularity and under the same circumstances, a curious man, which I happen to be, just can't help investigating why.
Poor Mr. Arlington. So sudden, so awful.
In the midst of life, we are in debt, Miss Malone.
And they were so pleased and happy. Since with the money you paid him for his property, he was going to move over to Bergen Street and set himself up in a grand shop and cater only to the people who pay their bills.
One of life's many mysteries.
Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning to you, Yancy, and to the Aborigine.
Friend of yours?
Yes, Mr. Arlington, the silversmith. Oh, forgive me, gentlemen. This is Yancy Derringer and his wild Indian. Yancy, this would be Mr. Blair Devon and his partner Arthur Travers from New Haven.
How do you do?
Connecticut?
Connecticut, the land of the rock and the stone. Its soil is reluctant, its contours are harsh, and its winters bitter. Yet withal, a place of great beauty.
At the south, New Orleans is soft and gentle. A land of Spanish moss, lovely maidens, and a rich life.
Poor death.
Yes.
Are you the same Yancy Derringer who owns the dock where the riverboats sell Tanamores at the end of the street?
The same.
How fortunate. I've been planning to get in touch with you to make you an offer.
It's not for sale.
Oh, not the whole dock, just a small strip of it. We could discuss this more reasonably at lunch. Why not join Mr. Travers and me at the Charter House? It could prove tremendously profitable to you.
Gentlemen, you have a guess. Shall we say it one?
A pleasure. Miss Malone, don't forget to give our offer your serious consideration.
I will. Though it's a poor morning for the discussion of commerce.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bridget?
This is the first visit you paid me since Cousin Madam Francine bought me my own shop. Do you like it?
I think it's beautiful, although not as beautiful as its owner.
Blarney. In Ireland, we always say the man with the golden tongue always has a heart of quicksilver.
Is that kind, Miss Malone?
And don't be forever shaming me with the word miss. I don't need to be reminded that it's unmarried I am. My feet get cold enough at night to testify the fact.
I just mean...
And it's little help a willing maiden would be getting from a professional bachelor like yourself.
You know, Bridget, all I really need is the love of one good woman.
One?
Well, to tell the
fact
truth...
of the matter is, I have a suitor.
No.
Well, is it so surprising, then?
Well, I just mean that I'm delighted. You know, as your guardian angel, I will have to pass on him and find out his intentions.
Well, at least he has intentions.
And who is he?
His name is Joshua Devon.
Devon?
Brother to the one you met.
Oh. Well, I'll be happy to meet him. Bridget, tell me about the funeral.
Oh, poor Mr. Arlington.
He had the shop next door.
Why, 'twas only 2 days ago he sold out to Mr. Blair Devon for $20,000 cash.
His property's only worth half of that.
$20,000. I saw it myself. I was a witness.
What happened?
That same night, thieves broke in, took his money, and shot him dead. And there was Mr. Spencer. He's missing.
And now the Devons want to buy you out.
For the same price, $20,000. And it's the truth I'm about to sell. Madam Francine paid only $8. I could repay her and have a profit of $12 as a dowry for my intended.
Well, for the moment, you're not going to sell.
Well, Yancy, you're being gruff with me.
You're not going to sell, and that's an order. I'd rather have a live maiden than a dead bride. Dreaming, Mr. Colton?
Huh? What? Yancy, what the devil are you doing here? I didn't send for you.
Larceny doesn't have to show up at your desk first, Mr. Administrator.
Well, now, what does that mean?
You get your intelligences from inside of the law. I get mine, as we agreed when I became your secret agent, outside of the law. Well, this morning, things seem to be exploding beautifully outside of the law.
So this time you're sending for me, hmm?
There's a street named Duquesne.
Duquesne? What about it?
There are 3 knaves from New Haven. The Devon brothers and a man named Travers.
Yes, never mind them. What's this about Duquesne Street?
Well, now, the 3 knaves are buying up all the property on Duquesne, from Royal Street to the levee. Now, I smell smoke, Mr. Colton, and I want you to tell me about the fire.
This is a state secret.
Oh, not anymore.
Is there anything about New Orleans that you don't know, Mr. Derringer?
Well, yes, there's a young lady...
All right. The Natchez and Northern Railway is putting a spur right through the city to the levee. A Connecticut company has loaned them $1 million for the move. This office has approved it on the basis of a fair buyout from the exiting property owners on Duquesne. But as I said, this was all top secret. I can't understand how anyone found out about it.
Now, the 3 knaves came from New Haven. The loan to the Natchez and Northern Railway probably came from the same town.
Of course, that's the answer.
There were 2 deaths on Duquesne Street last week. 2 days ago, Mr. Arlington, the silversmith, he sold his place to Mr. Devon for $20,000. That night, he was robbed and killed. 2 days before that, Mr. Spencer, the gunsmith, he sold his place to Mr. Devon for $20,000. Now he's disappeared.
We found him in the river last night. There was no money on him.
Well, now they've offered Bridget Malone $20,000. And after her, Maurice DeGraff, the same for his pawn shop. And then me, the same for my strip of dock. That $20,000 is sure going a long way, don't you think?
Confound it, Yancy. This isn't just a simple land swindle. It's cold-blooded murder. I'm going to place those 3 men under detention immediately.
You don't have 1 iota of proof. You couldn't hold them.
Well, what do you suggest I do?
They're outside the law, so am I. Till you find a better way, we'll have to handle it that way.
All right, Yancy, you handle it. But this time, don't let me catch you.
I know, Mr. Colton, or you may have to hang me, too. Thank you, sir. Well, Mr. DeGraff, Mr. Devon.
Mr. Derringer, a welcome sight indeed. You're just in time to witness Mr. DeGraff's signature to a transfer of deed. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
I haven't signed it yet, Yancy. Not yet.
After all, it is only a pawn shop.
Only a pawn shop, Mr. Devon. It's the last haven of the poor poker player who believed in 2 pair. It's an institution, and, well, I personally shall miss it.
I only meant it isn't as if the property was an old family affair. And it is the most generous offer. Now, if you'll just...
$20,000.
Yes.
It's a lot of money. I can use it. But, well, I'm not a superstitious man. And yet,
And yet, what happened to Mr. Arlington and Mr. Spencer?
Nothing happened to Mr. Spencer. He just left town, that's all.
Face down. By way of the Mississippi, short voyage.
Well, I certainly can't be held responsible for money after it's left my hands. Now, Mr. DeGraff, are you going to sign or not?
I'm signing.
Good. Here's the $20,000. Count it. Would you witness the signature, Mr. Derringer?
Yes, of course.
I suggest you put that money in a safe place right away.
Sound advice.
I'll go right now.
And now, about our deal?
You surprised me, Mr. Derringer. I'd expected you to put up more of a fight.
But I need money. You do have the papers.
All ready. Right here.
And the cash.
No, as a matter of fact, I don't. You see, I hadn't expected you to conclude immediately.
Well, I didn't expect that you would expect so. Shall we postpone our transaction until later at Madame Francine's?
Very well.
Good day. You startled me.
I'm sorry, DeGraff. Was on the way to our luncheon and got detained. Did you and Mr. Devon make the deal?
Yes, it's finished.
And you got the money?
Yes, I have it right here.
Well, good luck, DeGraff.
Goodbye, Mr. Travers.
call, Yancy?
Landlady's prayer. Full house. Aces and trays.
Your luck's running a little better today.
About time.
Am I invited to sit in?
Please do.
Tokens of my solvency. In Connecticut, we say it's money that makes the man.
We put it another way in New Orleans. It's not money that gives a man his standing, but his name. My name is Yancy Derringer.
I'm Joshua Devon.
Mr. Devon, Madam Francine, Mr. Bainbridge. I bet 50.
Cole? I've heard of you, Mr. Derringer.
That makes us almost even. I've met your brother, too, please.
Blair?
And another gentleman, Mr. Travers.
His partner. I'm their attorney. 2, please.
Oh, is that so? You tell them what to do, Mr. Devon? Bet 200.
Not what to do, sir, but how to do it. There are tricks in every trade. Raise 200.
I'm trying to make up my mind, Mr. Devon. Is it in the nature of a lawyer to bluff, or do you only bet when there's a sure killing? Raise you 100.
It's a lawyer's temperament to take what he knows he can get. Your resources are limited, Mr. Derringer, so I won't embarrass you. This time I'll look. Call.
Well, as you can see, I'm a hunch player. 3 knaves.
Lay it on your hand, Judge. Bullets, Mr. Derringer.
And 3 of them.
It's a curious thing about bullets. In poker, you need 2, preferably 3. You dream of 4. In life, 1 takes a trick.
I'll never forget this night.
You get no credit for that, my Bridget. A man not only expects a woman to remember the night, but the day, the hour, and the minute.
Am I intruding?
Well, you might have announced yourself by knocking, Yancy Derringer.
Well, now, I just don't know what's happened to my manners.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Look, it's marrying him I am, Yancy.
I take it I'm the first to know?
The very first.
It's traditional to kiss a bride. Does an engaged girl get kissed, too?
Well, this one wouldn't mind.
Congratulations. Have you set the date?
We were about to discuss it, Mr. Derringer, when you arrived.
I take it you're going to live here.
Oh, it's grander plans we have than that, Yancy. I'm selling the shop to Mr. Devon's brother for business purposes. Sure, and I'm a lucky girl. I'll have a dowry to be bringing my husband.
Well, congratulations the second time. It's a pretty slick deal.
I beg your pardon.
Bridget, he doesn't want to marry you. It's just your property that he wants.
You're lying.
Well, for want of a better word, I'll just call them swindlers.
Yancy, you don't know what you're saying.
Well, Mr. Spencer and old Arlington would have used another word. That is, if they were still alive. They would have called them murderers.
I don't believe a word of it. It's evil what you're saying, evil.
Don't you have anything to say, Mr. Devon?
I feel no need to explain myself to you, Mr. Derringer, nor to defend myself against your charges. But I have a brother I admire and respect.
Oh! For shame, Joshua.
Don't do anything foolish, Mr. Devon.
I have no gun, sir. I never carry one unless I'm in the field hunting rabbits or perhaps a fox. Nor have I ever pointed one at a man. I leave that to gentlemen of the old school. But I will accommodate you. If you'll name the time, the place, and the weapons, I'll be there.
Mr. Devon, do you mind coming along with me?
And why should I?
Because you don't carry a gun. He sure is a hot-headed young man, Francine. He's so hot-headed he just might be in love with your cousin. It's hard to say.
You want me to keep him here?
Until further notice. Be no charge, he's my guest. Just keep him comfortable.
The best in the house. Where are you going?
Going over to Bridget's. I'm either going to shake some sense into her or get her out of town where he'll never find her. You sure this is all right with you, Francine?
Of course. Any friend of Yancy's is a friend of mine.
Hold him for at least a half an hour. Then let him work himself loose and escape. Mr. DeGraff, you all right?
Yes, but Yancy, someone's been following me. Everywhere I go, there are footsteps.
Yes, I know. It's Pahoo. You got your money in a safe place, haven't you?
No, not yet. There's no time.
Well, why don't you put it in Madame Francine's safe?
No, I've got to keep it. It's mine. I don't trust anybody.
What you need is a drink. 2 champagne cocktails, please. May I join you? Of course, Mr. Devon. Another champagne cocktail. Sorry to hear about your brother.
Really? What about my brother?
Well, he's hurt, of course, but he'll get over it. Bridget Malone is beautiful, but she's not the only girl in the world.
You mean she's turning him down?
You too.
Mr. Derringer, if you're trying to be mysterious, you're certainly doing a good job of it.
She's just refusing to sell out.
But she can't do that. She made us a deal.
She said she wouldn't sell it now, even at the point of a...
He's been badly hurt. I'll get a doctor.
Did you get it?
We've got to get to that girl. She's pulling out a deal.
I'll persuade her one way or another.
What the devil?
Give way. This is Bergen Street, and it still belongs to the public.
Ah, you sniveling sneak thief. If I had the time, I'd do the police a good
Now, don't
turn.
get rough, friend. Don't get tough. Just minding my own business.
Come on.
Well, good evening, Jody. How's your mother's rheumatism?
Oh, not so good these damp nights, Yancy. If I only had enough money to send her to Lake Charles, why...
Oh, tut. Allow me to contribute $50 to the fund.
What?
In exchange for the wallet that you so skillfully plucked from the gentleman.
Wallet, Yancy? What wallet? Oh, that wallet.
$20,000. It's all there.
$20,000?
Precisely. Thank you very much, Jody.
Who is it?
It's Blair. Open up, dear.
At the hour of midnight? Is something wrong?
No, we just want to talk to you.
Is Josh with you? I'm asking you, Mr. Devon, has something happened to Josh? Is he hurt?
Your concern for my brother is very touching, especially since you've jilted him.
Jilted him? Have you lost your senses, Blair Devon?
Bridget, my time is limited and my patience short. Shall we get on to business?
You're playing some kind of joke on me. And a poor one if it is.
Humor is not an indulgence of mine. Sign here.
This is a curious hour to conduct business, Mr. Devon. Unless it's the daylight you're afraid of. Or is it the law? Well, I'm telling you this to your face. I'm signing nothing and giving you nothing.
You'll do as I tell you.
It's Josh I trust. I'll listen only to him.
The deed's in the desk.
Oh, wait. Judge will kill you for this.
Oh, that would be fratricide, my dear.
Yancy was right about you, but you're wrong about me. I won't sign. Oh, you've killed Josh. That's what you've done. Or you wouldn't be here doing this to me.
I suggest you stop talking about my brother. It's very unpleasant to me. Now sign.
You wouldn't dare.
No?
Oh, Josh. Josh.
I'll take that paper, Blair.
Now, don't be a fool, Judge. She's not worth it. You ought to know that. But you see, we've got a fortune here. A fortune you and I can share, just as we always have.
Blair, you're my brother. Everything I have, I can thank you for. But you've used me. You've duped me. I suppose you always have, but I didn't know it till tonight.
I don't want anybody to get hurt, Judge. Least of all, you.
You know I don't carry a gun. I have none now. But if you don't hand me that deed, I'm going to take it from you.
All right, Judge. All right. I didn't think you'd have a stomach for it.
I remember attending a funeral when I was very young. Each of the mourners passed where the dead man lay, and each dropped a rose into the coffin and said, "Alas, my brother." I know now why you shanghaied me tonight, Mr. Derringer, and I'm glad you didn't tie me tight enough.
Well, against Pahoo's objection, I tied a lover's knot. Here's Mr. DeGraff's wallet. It's going to be all right, so he's $20,000 richer. There wasn't any money left to buy anything, so I'm afraid Bridget won't be able to sell her shop.
Oh, no matter. I'll be keeping it.
After we're married, I'll be taking law offices right up above the shop. And with her right down below, she'll be able to keep an eagle eye on her husband.
Well, Mr. Devon, aside from obvious reasons, I'm glad you weren't a conscious part of that swindle.
Oh, he wasn't. And I hope you'll accept my apology.
Thank you, sir.
I've just received word from the Board of Governors. They've denied the railroad's petition. They feel it might impair the natural beauty of New Orleans. We're moving the railroad depot to the east on the edge of town.
You mind telling me where, Mr. Colton?
I do indeed, Mr. Derringer.
Oh, well, see you in jail?
Very likely, Mr. Derringer. Very likely.